Hello, everybody. It is I, Zankoku, and welcome to another episode of I Got My Heart Broken, so here is a poem. The series where I share my poetry and also apparently is a kind of a relationship vlog. Anyways, this is the first time you're watching this. Context, let's say beginning of February, I was seeing a woman. I told her that I really, really liked her, and it didn't go out well, and got my heart broken. And then I decided to share some poetry with you, my viewers, all two of you, and also sort of like talk about the situation and my feelings and whatnot as a way to, I don't know, make myself feel better. And actually this has been a very successful series, not view-wise, but definitely for my mental health, because I am definitely feeling a lot better than I was way back then. Anyways, sorry I didn't post a episode last week. I had a really busy weekend. Watched a hockey game. My team won. Sweet. Did not get a lot of rest that weekend, so I just thought, I'm not going to do it. But for those of you who care about what's going on, no, I have not yet had that talk with her yet. But I actually feel a whole lot better right now than I did a couple weeks ago. Yes, I'm still kind of in that relationship purgatory, but I'm not as freaked out about it. I've kind of calmed myself, and you know what? I'm just going to take things one day at a time, see what happens. I'm still very hopeful that things turn out, but I'm also prepared for things not turning out. My past history is any indication. Things just don't turn out for me. So it's probably about 80 to 90% probably not going to happen. But, I'm still hopeful, because I've got to have hope. I've got to believe, because, she's just a spectacular woman. The way she makes me feel when I'm around her, she just fills me with this energy, and you can't have a bad day when she's around. I wish I could inspire that kind of feeling from her, where she's like, "Oh, it's me," but I don't know. We'll see. We're going to eventually have that talk, and I'll find out. And hopefully I'm preparing myself and my heart for the worst, and I'm hoping for the best, because, I probably did fall in love with her. How deep of a love, that's yet to be seen, but yeah, the more I think about it, yeah. Sucks. Unrequited love is like the worst. It is the absolute worst. Actually, no, it's not. Like, requited love that ends up becoming unrequited. So, like, you were in love, and they were in love with you, and then things go bad. That's the worst. But anyways, for a long time, I've always thought my love was like such a wasted emotion, because I just didn't know what to do with it, because no one would want it. No one would accept it. And now I'm just like, these feelings right now, I'm letting them fly. And they're not necessarily flying, in the direction of the person, at least not like overtly. I'm trying to, give her space and time, and but I've actually started writing a couple new poems because of her. And actually, it's kind of funny that when I think about it, because my poems, there are a lot that are inspired by people, certain people, and none of them are ever going to read or hear these poems. I mean, I think I emailed this one woman some of my poems that were inspired by her, but I don't know if she's actually read them. I have no indication that she's actually read them, so I don't know. But maybe these new ones, inspired by my current interest, maybe eventually she'll see them and read them, but they're kind of romantic, so I don't know. I don't know if she's prepared for that. I don't know. But anyways, that being said, that's where we are on the relationship front. So, yeah. So it's time to get into the poems. Yes, I'm trying to make a concerted effort not to get like a freaking hour-long episode here. So right into the poems, and I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to get into some of the dark, some of the bleak, some of the cynical stuff now, because I mean, practically, I think that's all that's left. Yeah. Anyway, so this one is called Rivers, and it is inspired by that woman I talked about, who I sent some of my poems to. Maybe I'll talk a little bit more after I finish the poem, but this one is called Rivers, and it's so I wrote this as if it was going to be a song, but I never really put music to it and things like that. So it's got verses, chorus, verses, this kind of bridge thing. I don't know. Anyways, so that's kind of like the style of this one. But anyways, here is Rivers. All right. Once again, reading from my computer screen here. So, got my mouse because it's a little longer. Anyways, let's go. Life flowing like a river, pouring out into the sea. Its red gold warm being flowing deep from inside me. Cold and alone, I listen to the sound of falling rain. No recourse, nothing, no way to ease the pain. See my arms, see my wrists, cut so deep. I close my eyes, pray the Lord my soul to keep. Rivers of blood, they flow from me. I bleed from the wounds that have been given to me. You see my hands covered with blood. You turn away and try to run. Pain flowing like a river, pouring out for all to see. My soul's losing feeling as my life drains from me. Frozen and afraid, I listen to you blaming me. No recourse, nothing, no way to make you see. See my arms, see my wrists, they're so red. I close my eyes as its iron turns to lead. Rivers of blood, they flow from me. I bleed from the wounds that are within me. You see my hands shaking with fear. I am no longer the man you held so dear. So much for life, so much for love, so much for me. Death flowing like a river, not much left in me. Devastating loss of being, yet another heart's tragedy. Unfeeling and uncaring, I listen to you no more. No life, nothing, as my body hits the floor. See my arms, see my wrists, blood now dried. I close my eyes. I have just died. Rivers of tears, they flow from you. You see the wounds given to me by you. You finally see as I lost my life. You turn away and drop the knife. So, definitely, of course, very suicide referencing allusions in that poem, but the sort of twist that was kind of foreshadowed in the beginning, because in the beginning there I did say, I bleed from the wounds that have been given to me, not the wounds that I have done myself, but the wounds that were given to me. And of course, at the end, the person who has the knife, the person who did the cutting, was her. She did the cutting. She is the one who wounded me. She's the one who ultimately led to that sort of death. And of course, this is all, of course, kind of allegory in a way, you know, because what I perceive that she did to me, and I'm not going to get into this story, maybe a later time, but I mean, make just sort of the short version. This was the woman that I was wanting to marry. This was the woman that I wanted to build a life with. This was a woman that I gave up things for the relationship. And she ended up leaving me for another man. And married him a short period of time after. So I was hurt really bad. And so, you know, this is kind of like, you know, my life, my existence flowing out of me because of those wounds that she gave me. And yeah. And, you know, it was for a time in my life, I was like I was dead. Like this situation, this happening killed me. I was dead. Figuratively, but I wasn't really living. So yeah, it's even reading this back, you know, it's just, it's dark. It's super emo. Blood cuts. Oh, cut my life into pieces. My last resort, you know. But I mean, that's one of the things, like, it was tough, but I made it through. There's the positives. It's like I've made it through all that stuff. Obviously, I'm here now. But it sucks. It was horrible. It was the worst. I do not want anyone to ever have to go through that type of thing. And so, you know, I'm very respectful of other people's relationships. Like, if I find out that, you know, this woman has a boyfriend or whatever, you know, it's over. Doesn't matter. I'm not pursuing. I'm not going to be that. I pledge myself never to be that guy, because I know how horrible the feeling is, and I don't want to be responsible for that. You know, and of course, you know, the guy, I think he's a big fucking asshole. No respect, but honestly, I don't know what she's told him. I mean, she may have lied to him and you know, told him like things were all over or whatever, even when they weren't. I don't know. I don't know the situation. I don't know. But yeah. So there you have it, Rivers. So hey, we're making this really short, right? Sweet, guys. All right, so you know what? I'm going to do another one. And this one is one that is really angry. So, and this one just is super free verse. Like, no rhyme, no real structure. It's just me putting my rage onto a piece of paper. So yeah, this is, just, and once again, it's a good therapy, because sometimes you can't just hold that stuff in, because you could just, so, get it out of your system. And this is a safe way, you just write and put all the violence and mayhem and darkness, you just throw it out of yourself and onto the paper. You exercise it. Anyway, so this one is called Red. It's very angry. So had a lot of rage. I still have a lot of rage. Man. Anyways, so Red. I am the destroyer, the fiery being of devastation. I have no need for the trivial things of being. No love, no joy, no happy days for me to bother. All I need is my own inner rage to get me through. I am the seeker of vengeance, the deadly justice of my heart. I have no need for non-violent means to appease my scorn. No mercy, no sympathy, no forgiveness for the offenders. All I need is their painful cries of agony to satisfy me. All I see is red, burning rage inside my soul, searing pain of hatred's light, firing deep inside. All I see is red, immolation of my soul, blasting furnace of malice blown from deep inside. I am the maker of war, the peace-destroying angel. I have no need for a higher level of being, no patience, no remorse, no understanding on my life. All I need is to give birth to chaos, running wild and free. I am the murderer, the efficient end that justifies the means. I have no need for rehabilitating of the guilty, no incarceration, no parole, no escape for all. All I need is the blood to rain for days upon days. All I see is red, bloody torment out of control, stain of humanity wiped away from my face. All I see is red. I am out of control. All traces of feeling and emotion fleeing from my face. All I see is red, burning. All I see is red, searing. All I see is red, incinerating. All I see is red. All I see is you. So that one's very angry. That one is, yes, very, very, very angry. But, Red, it's just, there was a time where she inspired such rage, because, I hated what she put me through. And things are complicated. Look, it sounds like I lay the blame on her, and she does deserve some blame. But I'm sure I did a bunch of things. I mean, I know I've done a bunch of things wrong. I know that looking back at some of the things I did, and just go like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I act that way? What was I thinking? So yeah, and of course, whenever any relationship implodes. It's not always, one person's fault exclusively. But there's also ways of extricating yourself better. And, anyways, so they're very angry, lots of fire, lots of burning, like blast furnace, lots of like rage in that one. And, I like that. I like that one. I don't know why, but I really do enjoy that one. It's like, it's anger, it's rage, but it's channeled. And, I took my rage and my pain and my anger and I channeled it into something, and I actually created something. And I'm kind of proud of that. Now everyone's going to say how garbage the poem is. So whatever. Fuck you. I don't care. Anyways, but am I still angry? Of course I'm still angry. I mean, it's been a very long time. But yeah, I'm still... those feelings, when they run deep. And this is one of my problems is, like, I feel very deeply. I mean... sound like the Vulcans, emotions run deep in us, even more deep than humans. Well, it's like, I feel that. My emotions run real deep, and I feel them real deeply. And so, those scars and those wounds, they're better, but it takes a long time to heal. And unfortunately, the way my mind likes to torture myself, it likes to pick at those scabs, and so it takes even longer. Because there's not a day that goes by where my mind doesn't remind me of something stupid. It's like a war between myself and my mind. My mind is like, hey, remember that time when you fucked up? Bam! Now you feel bad, right? Remember that time when you got fucked over? Bam! Now you feel bad. Remember that scene in that movie with Kathy Bates? Oh God! Oh, why? Haha! Now you're gonna vomit. My job is done. Someone's gonna clip that. I'm just kidding. No one's watching this shit. Anyway, so whatever. Anyway, so there you have 2 more poems. The darker side. There are more dark, bleak ones to go. Lots of blood, lots of death, lots of anger, lots of grief, lots of depression. Anyways, but there you have it. So, these 2 poems really have nothing to do with my mindset now, because I'm actually feeling really, really okay. I don't know if I want to say good, but I'm definitely in a much better place than I was way back then, and I'm definitely in a better place than I was like over a month ago. So, thank you all who listen, watch, whatever. I mean, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I am where I am at this moment, because I could be in a much worse position. So anyways, but that's it. Thank you for watching another episode, and I will see you guys next time. And maybe next time I will be like super happy, and you guys can congratulate me on newfound love. I don't know. I'm hoping, but otherwise, I'll be in a horrible position, or we wouldn't have had that conversation yet. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But, you know what? I love y'all. You guys stay sexy, internet. And I will see you next time.